The legend of Wild Bill Hickok. In a time when the American frontier was untamed, where the law was written at the barrel of a gun and the vast plains were ruled by outlaws and legends, one man stood tall above the rest, Wild Bill Hickok. A crack shot, a fearless lawman, and a gambler with nerves of steel, Wild Bill carved his name into the rugged landscape of the Wild West. From gunfights at high noon, to high-stakes poker games in saloon shadows, his life was a whirlwind of danger, daring, and destiny. This is the story of the man behind the myth, the legend who tamed the West, and lived on the edge of death until it finally caught up with him. This is the story of Wild Bill Hickok. In the quiet backwoods of Homer, Illinois, a boy named James Butler Hickok was born on May 27, 1837. He was the son of William Alonzo Hickok, an abolitionist who ran a small farm and also aided the Underground Railroad, helping escaped slaves find their way to freedom. James, better known as Bill to his friends and family, grew up in a world surrounded by stories of adventure, hardship, and the lawlessness of the expanding American frontier. From a young age, Bill developed a strong sense of justice, perhaps inherited from his father. He spent his childhood exploring the woods, hunting game, and learning how to shoot with deadly accuracy, a skill that would later define him. His keen eye and steady hand made him a skilled marksman by his teenage years, something that would eventually make him both feared and respected. At the age of 18, Hickok left his family and ventured west, drawn by the promise of adventure and fortune. The year was 1855, and the frontier was in the midst of turbulent times. He took various jobs along the way, including driving stagecoaches and working as a scout, but it wasn't long before he became involved in the law, and the chaos that came with it. It was during this time that Hickok had his first taste of gunfighting. In 1861, while working as a teamster for the Union Army in the Civil War, Hickok was involved in a deadly shootout with Confederate sympathizers in the infamous McCall's Massacre. His sharp shooting and fearlessness in the face of danger earned him a reputation as a man not to be trifled with. Hickok soon became known as Wild Bill, a nickname that would follow him for the rest of his days. The name suited him well. He was a larger-than-life character with a wild and restless spirit. Standing over 6 feet tall with long, flowing hair and a mustache, he cut an imposing figure. His keen sense of justice led him to work as a lawman in various towns across Kansas and Nebraska, where he quickly earned a reputation for being both brave and ruthless. His most famous stint was as the sheriff of Abilene, Kansas, a town notorious for its lawlessness and rowdy cowboys. Wild Bill cleaned up the streets with his deadly Colt revolvers, enforcing order with a swift and steady hand. But his quick-draw skills were legendary for a reason. In 1865, Hickok shot and killed Davis Tutt in Springfield, Missouri, in what is often considered the first true Wild West duel. The two men had quarreled over a poker game, and when they faced each other in the street, it was Hickok's quick reflexes and accuracy that left him standing alive while Tutt lay dead. The shootout cemented Wild Bill's reputation as one of the fastest guns in the West. Despite his reputation as a killer, Wild Bill was not a cold-blooded murderer. He was, by many accounts, a gentleman with a strong moral code who only resorted to violence when necessary. Yet, the life of a lawman, and a gunfighter, was fraught with danger. Hickok had numerous brushes with death, including ambushes, assassination attempts, and barroom brawls. His larger-than-life persona attracted both admiration and hatred, and he lived every day knowing that someone, somewhere, might be looking to challenge him. In 1876, Wild Bill Hickok, ever restless, found himself in Deadwood, a lawless mining town in the Dakota Territory. He had tried his hand at various professions by this time, including gambling, but his luck had begun to run out. On August 2, 1876, while playing poker in Nuttall and Mann's saloon, Hickok was shot in the back of the head by Jack McCall, a drifter with a grudge. Wild Bill died instantly, and his legend was sealed in the cards he held, black aces and eights, the infamous dead man's hand. Though his life was cut short, Wild Bill Hickok became one of the most famous figures of the Old West. His exploits were written about in dime novels, his name was whispered with both fear and awe, and his reputation as a gunslinger, lawman, and frontier legend has endured through the ages. The tales of Wild Bill continue to live on, a testament to the wild and untamed spirit of the American frontier. And so, The legend of Wild Bill Hickok came to a close in the most fitting of ways, under the smoky haze of a saloon, with a hand of cards in front of him and danger lurking at his back. He lived by the gun, and, in the end, it was the gun that took him. But for a man like Wild Bill, death was just another part of the adventure, another chapter in a life that was larger than life itself. Though the cards fell, and his luck ran out, Wild Bill's legend only grew. His tales of daring shootouts, fearless lawkeeping, and larger-than-life presence echoed through the canyons of history, becoming the stuff of Wild West folklore. He may have been laid to rest, but his spirit still rides on in every story of the untamed frontier, a reminder that men like Wild Bill Hickok never truly die, they just become legends.